buy it. I'd like to buy a PS4.
Yes, sir. That'll be $300.
$300 for a 10-year-old console? Sucks, but it'll be really good to be able to play God of War 2. Here you go, man. Here, take that. This is for you. Hold on. Okay. Okay, price increase. Oh. All right. Yeah. I'll let him know. Sorry, sir, but there's been 10% price increase. Oh man, that sucks, but it'll be worth it. Yes, sir, I agree. But hold on, wait a second. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I agree. So data centers are important. That's it. Yes. Okay. Yes, they're the cornerstone of our market. All right. Sir, I regret to inform you there's been $1,000 price increase. $2,000? Are you kidding me, bro? Oh my god! No, sir, very serious, but we are doing a give one, get 50% off deal. It's very good, very prestigious. What do I have to give? What do you want? Sony just announced a new sales campaign. If you give us your firstborn, you'll get 50% off. It's truly a great deal, honestly. I'd do it if it was me. I'm just saying. Okay. Hold on. Okay, look, you're okay with this. I'll come back for you. All right? Listen, I just really have to play God of War 2. I have to. It's a classic. I promise I'll come back. Look, I promise I'll come back to you. I'll do like a refund or something. Anything like GameStop used to do. You used to get like $1 back when you trade in a game. I'm gonna do the same thing, but for you, I promise. Yes, sir. We'll take it. What's up, guys? I'm your host, Manly Dogs, and my question to you today is how much are you willing to shell out for a console in the good old 2026? Because it is getting expensive. It has been insane. Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X, PS5 regular, PS5 discless, PS5 Pro have all been going up in prices, and those consoles came out ages ago, and we're paying more today than we were when they came out. Now, you may be asking yourself, why is this happening? What is going on? And anyone with a brain who isn't well versed or is well versed in anything happening in the world knows that AI data centers are on the rise right now. You're like, okay, well, what's an AI data center? And a lot of them, people will say, oh, it's like to retain information for the AI chatbots and all the AI implementations you see in daily life, such as when you Google search something, use ChatGPT, use Grok, use Twitter, use Copilot, all these different AI implementations. I can't wait until they're all gone. It's just a trend that everyone's trying to hop on, but holy crap, it's just way too much. Now, initially, everyone thought AI data centers were going to be just for that. But data centers are also used to store our information with using flock cameras and different things, and just anything we Google search, anything about us is probably stored in these data centers. And you're like, how has this not been, this has been happening for years. Why do we need these giant facilities now? The question is, I don't know. No one's come up with an answer. No one has an answer why these facilities need to be created to retain our information and to contribute to AI, but we don't know. And what we do know, though, is that it's using up all of the possible RAM in the world to make these data centers, and in turn, it's causing consoles to raise in price. So it's been rough if you are a gamer, because everything is getting way more expensive. So with all that to say, let's get into this article that was just posted by VGC. Breaking down a twist in our story that apparently manufacturers are just
increasing the prices of these this RAM, and not actually, it's not all due to the data centers. So let's read what this story is about. This is the first time I'm looking at it. So this article comes from VGC. That just came out. RAM manufacturers have been sued for allegedly fixing prices and supply, leading to increased cost. The class action lawsuit claimed Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron have been squeezing supply. The three largest RAM manufacturers in the world are being sued for allegedly fixing the supply and prices of memory. The sharply rising cost of memory is widely attributed to demand for AI data centers, with major vendors signing long-term deals with AI firms. Now, as reported by Law 360, a class action lawsuit filed by a proposed class of individuals and business consumers accuses Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron of playing a large part in what's being dubbed Ramageddon by the media. The complaint alleges that three companies, which make almost all the world's supply of DRAM, have been working together to fix component prices while reducing supply. It accuses the trio of reducing its supply of DDR3 and DDR4 RAM, leading to a sharp increase in price for consumers who use it, focusing most of its production on HBM, a high-cost, high-bandwidth form of 3D stacked DRAM, mainly used by AI data centers instead of consumers. So what that tells us is that this is being used. They're basically telling them, no, we're going to raise these prices. We're going to raise these prices no matter what. And we're just being shown how much we can get away with now. And consumers will just eat that cost. It says the DRAM oleopologists have simultaneously cut production, coordinated a pivot to HBM, and exit from the DDR3 and DDR4, and otherwise decreased and locked up conventional DRAM supply while prices charge up with mind-blowing scale and rapidity, it claims. So I don't know what any of that really means, but what it tells me is that it argues that as DRAM shortages led to price risking, still Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron continue to squeeze conventional DRAM supply, simultaneously and publicly directing their resources towards less profitable per die HBM, or in some cases simply junking conventional DRAM supply channels altogether. So cut the shortage, or cut the conventional way of making things, full on increased costs. It also says the plan is working as consumer purchase of a conventional DRAM and devices incorporating it have paid super competitive prices and have otherwise suffered the impacts of a distorted market crippled by the behavior of DRAM oleopologist. The suit argues that the three companies have control over the DRAM supply and can't be realistically challenged by anyone else because the cost of building one DRAM fabrication plant can be tens of billions of dollars and can take years to complete. So basically, they know that they have control of the market, and now they're able to oligopoly this and control it. So we as consumers will have to eventually pay the price, because that's why PlayStation and Xbox prices are going up, because there is a shortage, not just from the data centers, but because they're also price gouging us. It also claims that even a new company did try to challenge the trio. The process used to reliably manufacture chips compromised decades of accumulated trade secrets and U.S. export controls, bar the only other procedures in China from acquiring current generation equipment. The practical consequence is that when the three firms restrict supply, no outsider can expand output to undercut them, it claims, which in turn means more expensive console. Samsung actually pleaded guilty to this and paid $300 million in fines for participating in what the U.S. Department of Justice referred to at the time as international conspiracy to fix prices in the DRAM market. That is insane. Hynix has also pleaded guilty and was fined $185 million. This is a drop in a bucket for these companies. While Micron reportedly avoided a fine by reporting the incident and working with prosecutors. They were then investigated by the Chinese government when prices spiked again between 2016 and 2018. There's a third such cycle in the same market, they say. So recently, Microsoft raised the prices of its Xbox consoles between $100 and $150, while Apple also increased prices across its hardware products in the same day. Valve confirmed its Steam Machine would retail for over $1,000, saying its original goal for the price of Steam Machine is no longer viable. Sony and Nintendo have increased the price of their hardware in recent months, and analysts suggest further increases would be on the horizon if the situation continues, as it appears it will. So, all that to say, we understand that prices are only going to continue to get more expensive, go up. Consoles are going to continue to get more expensive. It's going to be a challenge for consumers to even afford these consoles. We're eventually priced out of a hobby that we can no longer afford. No one's mom is going to Best Buy on Christmas Day and saying, I'm going to spend $1,000 on a PS5. It's just not feasible when it's a 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old console. You can't expect consumers to want to pay that much, and it sucks. But in turn, I think that creates an interesting digital market where you're gonna see games created specifically for these older consoles, and they're gonna continue to elevate the older consoles in a very unique way. You're not gonna get a new console for a long time. I know Sony said they're working on the PS6, but there's just no way. I don't see a future where every console is entirely cloud-based and digital, where we don't even have a box, but we have an app that we access. That's what I personally think is what's going to happen. I'm curious, what do you guys think is going to happen? Please open up to critical discussion in the comments down below. I know this is a big, fat, ugly, confusing topic, and I'm not my best at covering it, but it is something I want to talk about because I love gaming, and I hate that this is happening to my favorite hobby. So, see you guys next time.
Every single time, hands up high for the pack tonight. We ain't done yet. We're just out of sight. Another stream down, another goal in sight. Manly dogs gon' shine when it's game time. Yeah. I don't stop when the camera fade. Champions are built when nobody's paid. While they sleeping, I'm sharpening steel. Every new stream, another chance.